It's fair to say that Manchester United are enduring a pretty mixed September so far. Great in the competitions, but 2 back-to-back league defeats. And we have continued here with another Champions League game. It's the second in Group A against FC Basel for them tonight. And if anything is left to go by, it's pretty much going to be a dominating victory, winning 3-0, I believe, against CSK in Moscow last time out in the Champions League. Like we said, this is a particularly simple group for Gregg to get by. Well, former kind of nemesis, if you like, is former Arsenal man Mourinho on the Basel side. For Manchester United, it's the very much man in form at the moment, Anthony Martial, who's leading the line tonight, and a few changes for Gregg Popovich's side. The full squad, David De Gea is in goal, and it's the return of right backs and left backs as well, the full backs rather, with Bertrand coming with Valencia, and the central defensive Eric Bailly and Tuanzebe. It's Herrera and Fellaini with Young, Pogba and Zaha, and as we said, Anthony Martial leading the strike force up top today. Basel team looks like this with Falkett in goal, and as we said, former Arsenal man Mourinho is on one of the wings today. And up top is another former kind of player going against them in Robert van Wolfswinkel. Also Sulci is a familiar name on the Basel side too. Well, next for Manchester United, they end the month at Crystal Palace to face newly appointed manager Roy Hodgson. Of course, they won't be coming up against a teammate in Tuifufusi Mensah as he is out on loan there. And keep the ball for his team. Zaha, that's a foul, surely. The referee has not given it. That is a clear foul. And Zaha is furious. That is a very bad decision from the referee. He probably saw something we didn't know, but it looked like a foul from here. The referee has stopped play. Offside against Basel. Kind of a dreadful decision not to give Manchester United the free kick. Great tackle from Tuanzebe. And Barcelona Olympiacos 2-1. And goal here at Old Trafford as well. Mourinho has scored. And Manchester United's torrid September continues, and it's a former nemesis in Arsenal man Mourinho scored for Basel here. I think it was Iniesta that scored for Basel, but it was Barcelona. It was Iniesta that scored for them. Tuanzebe here with a poor clearance, to be honest. And David De Gea, well, to be fair to him, he had his field obstructed, but I think a goalkeeper of his caliber should really be saving that. And Gregg Popovich is going through a bit of a tough time all of a sudden, but it was expected to happen. And Manchester United fans will probably be glad it's happening quite early on, because it bodes well for the rest of the season. That their performances will pick up, but this is the Champions League, but there's still plenty of time, even if they lose tonight, to bring the gap back up. They're already at the group leaders. Antonio Valencia scoring off the kickoff, and they did wonderfully to get into the box. Handball surely against Basel, and Manchester United getting nothing from the match officials when it seems clear that they should. Pogba with the corner. And Wolfswinkel. And Zaha does great tracking back and then loses it immediately. And there is the half-time whistle. And Basel have taken a surprise lead at Old Trafford so far. Again, it seems that Manchester United aren't playing poorly, it's just the opponents are playing better at the moment. It's a weird conundrum. But at the first half end, Mourinho, who caused United so many problems when he played for Arsenal, is now playing the same problems for Basel, as he gave them a 1-0 lead going into the second half. United, what is going a little bit wrong? And it's a question that we don't have an answer to yet. Martial. Here is Zaha. He's in the box. Oh, what a stunning strike from Wilfried Zaha. And that's his first goal of the season. And it's an absolute belter. What a goal from Zaha that is. It's been some time coming. And I don't think it's his first ever goal for Manchester United. But it's certainly a statement of intent for this season. What a strike. Basel defence absolutely nowhere near it. And the keeper is never getting to that in a million years. Two goalkeepers couldn't stop that. That is a fantastic strike. And Wilfried Zaha gets his first Manchester United goal of the season. It's been mostly Pogba and Martial and Rashford getting the goals. But now Wilfried Zaha is in on the act. And I believe that's his first ever Champions League goal. So Wilfried Zaha is finally off the mark for his Manchester United career, part 3. And hopefully now he can get the Manchester United career he's kind of wanted for some time now. Gregg Popovich is definitely being repaid the faith now. It's going to be a foul against Fellaini. CSKA Moscow, on the other hand, they've taken the lead against Benfica. And they're in Manchester United's group, of course. And Italian Xhaka is not Gary Xhaka is coming on, so it's another one. Probably the brother, if anything. He's come on for Safi. Martial. Brilliantly done. Good save by the keeper. That's a brilliant save from the man in form, Anthony Martial. But here he is again. He's tearing teams to ribbons at the moment, Anthony Martial. Here's Fellaini. That would have been some goal. No, Fellaini. With the score anything other than his head. Not a bad strike either. Straight at the keeper. Could have been going in. Good save. It's a really entertaining second half here. That's for definite sure. Pogba with the corner. Towards Valencia in the box. Penalty given by the referee. Handball by the captain for Basel. And a chance for United to take the lead here. They need to take it. Let's have a look at this penalty incident then. Basel with handball. 3-4 players going for the ball at once. And it looks clear. Actually, I think the Basel teammate gets an elbow in the face. And I think that's pretty clear to me. Does it come off the head onto the arm? No, it's straight on the arm. And that is most definitely the correct decision by the referee. No need to really debate that one. So no need to really debate this penalty. Anthony Martial is stepping up to take it. And he puts it in. And United lead. And I think there was almost no doubt about it. Anthony Martial, as I said, the man in form this season, has put United in front. And the comeback factor is back at Old Trafford, at least for tonight. Great strike by Martial. Right in the corner where keeper can't reach it. Fantastic. Another fantastic goal by Martial. He's on such a roll at the moment. And Bertrand. Some captivating play from Manchester United the second half. Herrera takes advantage of a deflection. Oh wow, what a strike! Ander Herrera. 3-1 to Manchester United. And he took advantage of a deflection of the pass. And what a strike by the captain. And Manchester United now in total command of this game. Herrera does brilliantly here. He reads the play. And he picks it out back. And once again, the keeper's not getting there. Some stunning strikes from the United goal scorer so far. Keeper's not getting there again. He probably should do, to be fair. But it's another fantastic strike. And Gregg Popovich is loving the fact that United are coming back here and they're taking command of this game. They were one down by Gervinho at the end of the first half, but the comeback factor, at least for tonight, is definitely back at Old Trafford, and the goals have been sensational here. What a second half we've had, where United have taken control and are now up by 3-1. And yes, they have been conceding goals recently, but their overall performances have been great. 4 minutes of added on time. And Manchester United have totally dominated the second half, leaving Basel no chance, and going with another 3 points tonight. Wonderful stuff. Martial, oh, he makes it look so easy. Anthony Martial making it 4-1 right at the end of the game. He's making it look easy at the moment. And he's looking like the Anthony Martial that joined Manchester United a couple of seasons back. He's cut in here. He's the player for dead and still puts it in the corner. It's so easy for him. It's effortless from Anthony Martial. And he's much like the Anthony Martial that was scoring for fun under Louis van Gaal. And he seems to be loving life at Manchester United again, despite losing his preferred number 9 to Romelu Lukaku. But what an absolutely stunning performance in the second half by Manchester United to come back from a goal down. Gregg Popovich's team were absolutely unstoppable in the second half. Absolutely demolishing job started by Anthony Martial. A superb goal, well, Wilfried Zaha rather than a superb goal. Anthony Martial got the second when Manchester United were awarded a penalty. And Herrera's stunning strike put them in daylight, and Martial just finishing with the icing on the cake. Old Trafford has been treated to an absolutely spectacle performance in the second half where United were literally unbeatable. Manchester United 4, Basel 1. So we all scores in the Champions League tonight. Atletico Madrid held to a 1-1 draw against Roma, but at Celtic Park, Celtic get an honourable mention for a 2-2 draw against Bayern Munich. And it's the original 2-1 kind of scoreline against CSKA Moscow and Benfica, who I believe have turned that around, as I think Benfica were in the lead, so Moscow have turned it around. Barcelona convincing winners against Olympiacos in the end. Chelsea taking 3 points against Copenhagen. Manchester United convincing winners against Basel. Paris Saint-Germain thumping Anderlecht by 3-0. And it was a 0-0 draw between Sporting Lisbon and Juventus. Champions League groups after this week's Champions League matches. Manchester United have a 3-point lead over CSKA Moscow and Benfica in Group A, as Basel still yet to get off the mark. In Group B, it's tied. Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich both on 4 points, with Celtic sitting on their heels, but Anderlecht still yet to get off the mark. Atletico Madrid and Chelsea lead in Group C and get a bit of a buffer against Roma, with Copenhagen still yet to score. In Group D, it's Barcelona and Juventus and Sporting in the same scenario. In Group E, Sevilla running away with it, pretty much, as Spartak Moscow only scored 2 points so far, with Liverpool and Stuttgart only on a point each. Sevilla are looking like the runaway leaders in Group E at the moment, surprisingly. In Group F, with Shakhtar Donetsk and Manchester City, everyone is on 3 points in Group F as of now. In Group G, it's AS Monaco pulling away ahead of Porto, Leipzig and Besiktas, all scored. And in Group H, as of course to be expected, Real Madrid running away with it. But Nantes are still ahead of Spurs, who have got their 3 points tonight, but have a 2 worse goal difference, meaning Nantes are ahead of them. Borussia Dortmund struggling, still on no points after 2. Today's match between Manchester United and Crystal Palace will have United fans hoping that they can end a troublesome September on a roll with some mixed results. Manchester United coming off the back of 2 league defeats consecutively, but in the Cups they've been absolutely thriving, which really proved against FC Basel last time out for them. It's the last game before the next international break, so everyone has a chance to play their full-strength squads if possible, and then be off to England, where they'll be hoping for no international injuries picked up. Well, definitely there's no surprise. Surprise. The big story this season has been Watford, unbeaten so far and top of the table. Manchester United have been slipping down, incidentally. They had 2 consecutive losses against Everton and the like. But with the tougher games still to come, they need to make these chances count. De Gea's in goal with Lindelof, Jones and Bailly. It's a regular kind of back four, if you like, if you include the goalkeeper. Lingard is from Matic, Pogba, Herrera and Wilfried Zaha coming back to face his former club at Crystal Palace. Martial and Rashford are the 2 up front today. Michael Carrick is out of the squad with some suspected heart rhythm problems, apparently. He's apparently having surgery on that, supposedly. So we'll keep an eye out for that one. Speroni's in goal for Palace. He's aboard, and Fuzu Mensah coming up against his former club, which is kind of not allowed to be done. I don't know why the game hasn't sorted that at all yet. Townsend is with Wilbel Mitchell and Sako, Wickham and De Santos are up front. Fuzu Mensah is with Sako and Van Aanholt. And Lindelof plays back to Phil Jones, another player who's been thriving under Gregg Popovich. Score coming in from the Vitality Stadium. And there may be hope for Bournemouth this afternoon. They've taken an early lead with Danny Pugh, I think it is, scoring for them. Bournemouth already on 0 points after 6 games and really struggling at the bottom of the table. And there could be some light at the end of the afternoon for them, as they could finally get their first points on the board. There's no doubt that Anthony Martial is the player to watch this afternoon. Absolutely loving it at Old Trafford again. Rashford was the save out to the goalkeeper, and Zaha's put it wide. Zaha scoring his first ever Champions League goal last time out against Basel in that 4-1 win. United convincingly put on a scintillating second half performance. That man, Gregg Popovich, is making something work, but he's not had the best of league form recently, but it will happen. The Premier League is one of the toughest leagues in the world to play in. It was never going to be an easy job for Gregg Popovich, the Champions League being the premier Europe competition, but it seems to be there that and the other competitions that his team is thriving in. And what a matchup we will have in the Carabao Cup last 16, as we learned that there will be a Manchester derby for that round of 16 ties, so the Manchester clubs could be having a bit of an earlier fixture than normal. Because I think the last 16 will come before the first Manchester derby in the league. That's a good save from De Gea. So, well, Gregg Popovich is no doubt that he will really try to play a few mind games with Pep Guardiola. He can be known for getting in opponent's head sometimes. It's not the Jose Mourinho methodical mind games approach that he has. Gregg Popovich is always straight to the point and straight in your smash mouth, kind of in your face, at times anyway. But it's always a family mentality around Gregg Popovich and his teams, and it's no different at Old Trafford. And I think that's why they're playing ever so well at the moment. Martial, he's put it in off the foul, and it's Martial again, isn't it? There's no stopping him at the moment. Anthony Martial is just absolutely tearing it up at the moment. It's just, he makes it look so easy. And it's another goal for Anthony Martial. Look at this. He curls it in off the angle on the oncoming challenge, which would have been a penalty, but it went in off the post. Martial is just making it look effortless. It's actually an own goal by Van Aanholt, which is unfortunate. So that doesn't go to Anthony Martial instead. But it was him that made it, in my opinion. Manchester United up by a goal to 0. Own goal, but they all count. And United need this win. They need the 3 points today. It's been a mixed September for them. 2 consecutive league losses. And they need these 3 points to going into the international break. And I think there is an air of confidence about Manchester United, even in losses this season. Wilfried Zaha opened his Champions League account for his career and scored in the Champions League before now, but he's not scored in the league this season yet. But Wilfried Zaha is definitely enjoying life at Old Trafford this time around. Ball pass from Lindelof, he's found Sako, and the ball was played in loan for, I think it was Townsend. Over the corner. You're not really able to make much with corners. Lindelof, why not? Well, returning from the international break, we will be live at Anfield for Liverpool versus Manchester United. The biggest match in the English game. And wow, what a return to the international break that's going to be. And Manchester United and Liverpool fans don't even want the international break. They want to get straight to that matchup. And next for Palace will be a big match for them against Chelsea, the champions, who have struggled as of late to a little bit of a degree. by Ander Herrera, but he's quickly chased down by Connor Wickham of all people. Sacco shoots off the post, and De Gea didn't really see that one coming from Sacco, did he? And Givi, great tackle from Herrera, and that's the end of the first half. Manchester United once again dictating the play, and even though they didn't officially score, Anthony Martial definitely made the chance for himself and forced a own goal for Van Gaal, which separates the sides at half-time. Manchester United continuing their dominance at Old Trafford anyway, and looking to get 2 wins out of 2 in September on a high. Manchester United up by a goal to 0 at the break. And one of the surprising picks in the England squad is actually Aaron Henwood, who's looking to make his return against Liverpool from a toe injury. He's been picked for the England squad in case of a backup. He's not fully recovered yet, but his toenail is healing up nicely. The antibiotics that he's taken have obviously worked, and he should be back in the squad against Liverpool in some degree, but he won't be thrown in immediately. He is going to be a little rusty. He's had a bit of a longer break than a lot of these players who have pretty much warmed up, as we have a score update from the Hawthorns, and Watford are continuing their magnificent run. West Brom had them at 1-1, but Watford have now taken back the lead, or even taken the lead for the first time. And they look to keep their unbeaten run going at the top. Marcus Rashford skating into the box and still going after the ball, and he's forced to throw it. Well, what an unbelievable story Watford are at the moment, as Revold goes off for MacArthur. Jones is he's up there. He's one of the best, not the best. There's a couple ahead of him. Marcus Rashford into the box, goal. Well, no surprise. Marcus Rashford, he's not scored for a while. He gets a goal there. And just absolutely no surprise. This turn was sensational. And it's more remarkable play from the ever brilliant Marcus Rashford. And it's another goal for Manchester United. And they look home and dry. And September is ending on a very high note for that man. Well, not that man in particular, Roy Hodgson, but for Gregg Popovich, it's definitely on a high note. And there's 4 goals in the league for Rashford. And he obviously scored one of, if not 2, I think, of the goals that was scored against CSKA in Moscow in the Champions League opening day. And Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial continue to be such a phenomenal strike partnership that really is threatening Romelu Lukaku's return at the moment. He's out with injury, of course, with a broken ankle, but he's really being put under threat by those two. Martial and Rashford in particular looking to be the most dominant force in the league at the moment. You'd certainly think about it. The league numbers don't tell the whole story when it comes to Manchester United. The improvement in the play is just so much better than it has been from United in the past. Zaha into the box. It's just such a scary sight when Manchester United players are coming at you at the moment, because right now they're in the form of their lives, all of them. But another great interception from Victor Lindelof. For me, Victor Lindelof is kind of coming to his own all of a sudden, hasn't he? All the new signings, they've really made their own marks, haven't they? Oh, Rashford! And they just couldn't cap it off. That's so unfortunate. Look at this turn from Marcus Rashford. That, oh my goodness me. What a turn, what a flick by Rashford. And he just could not put it in the back of the net. It is absolutely scintillating stuff, with no teams having an answer when Manchester United are in full gear like this. And like we said, genuine contenders for sure. Look at Connor Wickham, well done. And he's, oh, by a penalty. And late drama here. And I think that is a penalty. It's unfortunate. But Bailly, I think he went for the ball and just didn't get it because Wickham was kind of in the recovery animation. We're getting over. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Bailly's got his eyes on the ball the whole time from that angle. I just want to have a look at this another penalty incident again. So, Phil Jones goes in for the ball here. And he's rather unfortunate at first because he gets the ball, but it's going to come off his heel here. So he's not to blame for this. Wickham, it just falls at Wickham's feet. And he kind of gets it back under control. Now, here is where he gets the penalty. Now, by here, it looks to me, it's a terrible angle. Oh, he's looking at Wickham here. So, is it really a foul? I think Bailly's unfortunate there because I don't think there's a lot he can do. Wickham, to be fair, does brilliantly to keep the ball here because it looks like Jones is going to get it, and it really looks to me like Bailly is that's just blocking, isn't it? Bailly's done nothing wrong here. He's looking at the ball the entire time. Wickham runs into Bailly, if anything. To me, that's not a penalty. It's more Wickham just running into Bailly. It's just an unfortunate collision that really happens when you've got a full head of steam and you're heading at Eric Bailly. He's done nothing wrong here. There is contact, to be fair. There is here, but I don't think there's any way Bailly can avoid it because he's looking at Wickham, but he's kind of trying to shield the ball, and Wickham just runs into him. To me, that's not a penalty, and Manchester United are rather unlucky. Well, what a very unlucky decision this is. Andros Townsend is going to take it. And saved by David De Gea. And what a great save. Poor penalty from Townsend. And I think it's justice done because it shouldn't have been a penalty in the first place. And David De Gea, hashtag Dave saves is in effect, even if it is a simple one. Manchester United should have never had the penalty given against them in the first place. And Watford asserting dominance at the Hawthorns. They're 3-1 up now. And their incredible start to the season looks to have gathered momentum. Fuzu Mensah, of all people, is forward. Sarko. Forward, and here comes Wilfred Zaha on the break against his former club. Oh, he's put it wide. That's unfortunate. Wilfred Zaha against his former club, putting it wide. And he's not far off. And full-time whistle then at Old Trafford. And Manchester United end September on a massive high. And more goals. And more great football. And Gregg Popovich has certainly recovered from his 2 back-to-back league defeats, which will lose them pace in the title race a little bit. But Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial did the business once again up front for United, and are becoming a very scintillating pair at the moment, which could put threat to Romelu Lukaku and Zlatan Ibrahimovic on their impending returns. And even though Martial didn't score tonight, he had another stunning game. Rashford added to the goals as well. Manchester United in scintillating form. United 2, Palace 0. All the scores from today's other Premier League games, and it is kind of some joy for Bournemouth, but unfortunately they gave up the lead probably late on against Leicester City. But they do earn a point with a 1-1 draw today. It's another 2-1 scoreline at the big clash near the top. Chelsea taking the win over Manchester City today by 2-1. Huddersfield holding Spurs to a goal draw. So Huddersfield, great effort against the team in second place, and that'll definitely help Manchester United's cause, with City and Spurs both dropping points today. Stoke City have lost against Southampton by a goal today. Watford's sensational year continues, and they took the game by the scruff of the neck against West Brom at the Hawthorns and won by 3-1 in the end, while West Ham lose again, this time to Swansea City by a 0-0. Wow, what a story for Watford. 7 games, won 5, drawn 2, no losses, 17 points going into the international break, leading Manchester United by 4. And Everton as well up there as well. So Manchester United have shot up to second place, with various other teams dropping points this weekend. Everton on the same as the score as them, with Spurs a point back. Arsenal up into 5th with 12 and level with Liverpool. Chelsea joining the hunt as well in 7th place. Huddersfield, definitely the team of the season overall, sitting in the top 10 after 11 points from 7 games. Sensational start to the season for newly promoted Huddersfield, who are ahead of Manchester City, who are then split by Southampton incidentally. And that's the top 10. Brighton in 11th place, Newcastle in 14th for the other promoted sides in the relegation zone. It's Palace who drop into the relegation zone after their loss at Old Trafford, and they join West Brom and Bournemouth, who are finally off the mark but still winless after 7. But at least they have a point with their result at the Vitality Stadium against Leicester today.